Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today we've got the fourth and final map of those maps that were doing really well at Christmas but didn't get a review because the Map of the Year show got in the way. So we are now finally fully up to date, and I'm telling you, today's map has been well worth waiting for. I didn't realise just how aesthetically pleasing this map was going to be. It is from a real life location down under, from a creator we've not done before, but it's not their first map. They've done 3 tropical island maps before. It is visually stunning, got one problem with it that can easily be cleaned up as you go along, and if you can look past that, I think you're going to really enjoy today's map. But before we get on with that, we normally start the show with a daily reminder, so I don't think we should change that. That's right, remembering to give yourself a central part in is a really good way of supporting the channel, get me seen by more people, and help me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for combing your hair. Today's map is Kangaroo Valley by Vapors with a double underscore, because the second underscore makes all the difference. There's your start square. Very hard to make out what's going on, but a river, and we've got a road, and we've got fields and stuff. Terrain heights, we've got a full... Apparently this is a fully enclosed valley, and only one of about, was it 7 or 9 in the world? It does say in the description, I don't remember now. Resources, very strong for farming. If you want to do some farming, great map for farming. And fishing, if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, it's not really a fishing map, but we've got salmon and anchovies. After the workshop, what do we need? Well, no DLC required today. Network Extensions 2 is there though, along with recommendation for the 81 tile mod. We'll be using the Waiheke map theme and the Clara colour correction LUT, although the dark green LUT is also on the list as well, so I guess it's a choice between the two. We have a whole bunch of other things in a one-click collection, including kangaroos. No kangaroos in today's map, but it's a lovely one. Tree Lod Fix is there though. I mean, there's a few things that you could probably get away with not subscribing to if you're not that way, like random tree rotation. I use it in all my map reviews, but it's not an essential, but it does make the map pop a little bit more, I feel. Now, if you have a look there, we've got the national road heading off from the edge of the map. We're going to pick up on the ongoing problem by turning the camera around to look at the edge of the map. So if I turn the camera around like that, we got a few trees, and you'll see a few more of those in today's show on the highway. Also, a minor thing here, not a big problem. Right on the edge of the map, we've got the 2-lane highway there, but a national road on this side, meaning we've only got 1 lane coming in. But that's not a huge problem, because there's only going to be 1 lane from here on in anyway. There's no actual multi-lane highways on today's map. So it's going to be one of those casual builds where you just take it slow, take it steady, give the traffic a chance to get to you. Because while there are 4 outside connections, outside connect, I'll get the words out. Oh, lovely switchbacks. Okay, we've got switchbacks on today's map. Most of them are lovely. I say most of them. There is one which I will question, but we'll get to that in a little way. So yes, where were we? Yeah, it's just a really aesthetically pleasing. Probably gone a little bit too high with this switchback here. We seem to have gone up the hill a little bit here, but we'll ignore that one as we go back down the hill and come down the other side of the into the valley. Into the valley is where we're going. So anyway, yeah, we've got a really nice selection of trees. Again, the Clara theme's not necessarily one of my favourite ones because it's a little bit too rich and too green on my colour vision. But again, I think it works really well on this map. So I think all credit for that one. Aesthetically, we've got a really lovely map here. We've got a really lovely location. Yes, you're going to start spotting a few trees on the highways. I've covered this a few times recently. If you're new to the show and you're wondering how this is happening, I think check yesterday's show. I went into a little bit of detail on it. I can't do it every show because then regulars to the show are going to think, oh, he's not going over that again, is he? And yes, I am. But yes, we do have a few trees on the highways. Again, easily removed with the bulldozer. So if that bothers you, remove them with the bulldozer. It's not going to affect the traffic. The traffic will find its way quite happily through them because they're not meant to be there. Yes, now, the map as a whole, it's a completely enclosed valley. I'm not even sure how that would work because we've got a river. How does a river get out of a completely enclosed valley? I'm not certain. I haven't actually checked Google Earth, but I probably might. I am slightly curious. Now, anyway, if you're that bothered by the trees on the road, they do phase out around about here, I think, soon. And then there's just occasional spot locations where you'll see them. Now, if you look here, we've got proper tree detailing along the side of the highways. So it's quite clear that there is actually good detailing going on around the map. And we've gone to some measure to actually remove the trees from these areas. I think possibly this was all done and then we'd had some spamming tree painting around the in the forested areas. I'm not sure, but we've got all these areas which are completely clear, and then we've got some areas where there are trees, and you'll see a repeated pattern across the most of the map where you'll find the trees in the middle of the map. We'll get there. Like, we've got a lovely little bridge here. Now, this is completely clear. Tiny little glitching of foliage through the middle there, but I actually don't mind. That looks like fallen leaves, so I don't mind that at all. And the rivers, by the way, are lovely. Now, we've got a Jinky here, and then we've got a Janky here. Decided that Jinkies are the left turns and Jankies are the right turns. A Jinky here, and then that's all good because we can now just bear around to the right. So yes, Jinkies and Jankies now have directions. Christened the Jinky Janky. It's only taken me 4 years. 4 years, well, almost 4 years. Now the next river here, you'll see we've got a lot of foliage going through the bridge, and that is a pattern. Oh, Janky there. Yeah, there's a lot of foliage going through the bridge, and that's the case across the map, with the exception of, that I can tell, one bridge. Oh, and that bridge is clear. So it's kind of like the job wasn't quite finished. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what's happened. But again, if you can see past it, I think this map is definitely well worth a second glance, because aesthetically, the terrain is amazing. The terrain is amazing. The aesthetics are really, really strong. And apart from the trees under the road problem, there isn't any problem. The detailing is very strong indeed. Following the National Road out towards the other side of the valley now, another one of these bridges through the river with the foliage going through the bridge. Ignoring that, got a little bit of... Is that stop-start traffic coming off of the bridge? That's really weird. What's causing that? What is causing it? We've got two nodes right next to each other there or something. That's normally what causes this one. Let's get rid of that. And no. I don't... Hang on, the traffic started moving again now. That is really very weird. I don't understand. I don't think there's more trees as we go into the forested areas again and switchbacks. Yeah, I don't think there's anything the map maker could do about that. That looks perfectly fine to me. Anyway, yes. Now this is that switchback I was telling you about. Something that's a little bit weird. Looks like it's going to be fine. It looks like it's needed. Yeah. Switch on the lines of terrain, and if you have a look at it, comes down the hill there massively, back up the hill there massively as well. We could have just scooted right across. There was no reason for that extra loop back down. And so yeah, for me that was the biggest flaw with the map in terms of actual technical flaws, ignoring the trees under the roads, because it's a mod causing it, but it's a mod that I think most players that are going to be playing this map will be using anyway. It is a map that is going to be Jinky. It's a map which is going to be a detailer's dream, this one. So we'll skip to the edge of the map. We've got a national road that dead ends just short of the highway there. I don't know. Sorry, edge of map there. I don't know why. But anyway, then we also have some rail. The rail isn't as extensive. In terms of the national road, that was the national road, by the way. That was the one. There are plenty of dirt tracks running off in different directions, which we'll probably check one of those out in the second half of the show. But in terms of rail, this is it. I didn't see a separate line coming in. If there is, I apologise, but it's not a fully long one. It just will take you into a little bit of sorry, trees into the catenaries there, but not a big problem. Loving that bridge there, by the way. That is a very nice bridge. And again, we've got no real uppy downies going on here, no lumpy bumpies. It's a fairly smooth line. There are a little bit of gradient issues here and there, but it's very minor stuff. And given the map, I think any player playing this will be quite happy just to ignore all of that. Anyway, the rail ends here, which means we can take the intermission. We'll come back and we'll check. Do you think there'll be shipping on today's map with these rivers? Go on, have a guess. And so back to Kangaroo Valley by Vapors, _. No shipping routes. We got this air route that runs right the way across the middle of the map, and it's absolutely what the doctor ordered. Especially was it they have the air doctors? What they call it? The flying doctors. That's the one. There's a TV show. I used to watch that as a kid. Then we have water. The rivers aren't really designed for pumping and drawing, but you have got water and it is moving. It's just, yeah, go with the custom assets and the land-based assets for that one. Right, okay, the map is very pretty. Very pretty. Now, okay, we're right on the edge of the map, so over here there's no reason to go to the next level for detailing, and it's okay. It's okay over here. But it's when we come up to here. Now, up here we've got fields. Fields where you'd imagine there to be fields, and where there aren't fields, the foliage hasn't been cleared. Like up here on this ridge up here, the foliage, sorry, the trees haven't been cleared, and down here in the valley, the trees also haven't been cleared. I like this a lot. I'm loving the shapes of the fields as well, even though there aren't strictly hedges. Oh, we'll get to the hedges in a moment anyway. Trees on the cliffs. Do you know what? I think that works really well there. On the whole, I think the trees painting on the cliff works quite well. I mean, here, because there is so many, it makes it feel like it's meant to be. So I can live with that. It's just occasionally where it looks a little bit skimped. Let me try and find a little bit. I think there's one up this valley here somewhere that is good, but it's not great. Is this the one? It might be. It might. I don't think it's this one that I found earlier. But anyway, yeah, there were some places where the trees on the cliffs I'm happy with. I think there's actually a bit too much of a drop going on here, so I don't think there'd actually be that many trees on that cliff, not of that kind of size. But some of the small shrubby stuff probably would have been okay. But I like the transition along here between the trees just starting to climb up the cliff faces. And there's a lot of good work that has gone into this map. But yeah, the fields are good. I like the nod towards the hedges without them actually being strictly hedges. It doesn't actually have to be a massive full detailing going on, you know. Now if we come down to here, what a scenic, lovely little river system we've got going on with today's map. I mean, really very nice indeed. There might be one or two trees just with their feet in the water, and I don't really mind that too much on a little river map like this one, because it does feel like there would be some foliage with roots in the water along here. It's just very nice indeed. A really, really pretty river system. Right, what more can we look at that we haven't covered yet? Pull the camera back. We'll have a look. Now, I think it's this one. Yeah, this one here. We have an outside connection over here as well. Two highways coming off the edge of the map, leading onto dirt tracks. Now, if you have a look here, we actually have no traffic along here. And I think what is causing this is the distance of the dirt track, because route finding will only search for a path if it's going to get to a location within a certain amount of time, and thinks this path might be just too long. for the route finding to actually decide upon sending. So if you were to upgrade this to a national road, I think you would actually start getting traffic coming along it, just because it's so far on the dirt track. And there is another one as well, and that one goes off up here. And again, there's no traffic up here, lots of switchbacks, outside connection which does connect with the outside. And if you upgrade that dirt track to a national road, I think you'll have incoming traffic from there as well. Right, okay, I think we're doing okay. I think we're nearly there. I just love this valley. Just love the tree painting, love the fields, love the rivers, I love the dirt tracks, love the national roads. The whole thing just really sings to me, this particular map. And all credits to the creator for actually making something real. And I'll say, going from a tropical island map to this is a massive step. Massive step. Anyway, here's your start square. Let's stick those lines of terrain on so you can see it's just slightly undulated. It's not too bad. Should be good for a good sized town build down here. And we have an asset of the day. And because it's Saturday, we do something a bit quirky. Now this is the Solar Collector Tower by Neon Genesis Evangelion by nilepereiraa AA. Now we do have a little blue mantle around the outside of the base of it. I have switched it over just to see what it would look like with the procedural objects mod. I did that and it looked amazing. I don't know why we've got the glitching along the bottom. Asset creators will tell me something about a base plate or something. But anyway, yeah, that's going to get rather hot there. With the sun rays bouncing down onto it. But yes, somewhere to barbecue your what do they call sausages in Australia? I should know that, shouldn't I? I'm going to call them bangers. That's what we call them in the UK. And factoids, because factoids. We're still on the organs here. An octopus has 3 hearts. 3 hearts in an octopus. Come on. What do they call sausages in Australia? Oh, it's bugging me. I do. Anyway, Solar Collector Tower by nilepereiraa. I ran out of time there trying to think what they call them. Yes. Local slang, colloquial slang, and it's just gotten away from me. Yeah, they're bangers. Bangers is what they are. Okay, right. I think we're about done. Let's set this camera down. Give you a chance to vote on the map. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Click the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free using a Facebook, Gmail, Patreon account, or even Apple. Even Apple. But what do I think of today's map? I think aesthetically it's very pleasing. There's a lot of trees on the road, but I don't actually think that draws away from the aesthetics. I'm gonna give it a high 4. Yeah, I'm going with a high 4. I guess it does affect the aesthetics slightly, but I still think it's a high 4. And then detailing. On the whole, excellent. We have got those trees on the road. It cannot get a high 4. It probably would have got a high 4. I'm gonna go for a low 4. I think it's more than a 3-star map, but it is a problem. Gameplay potential. I think this is quite playable. It's one of those maps that is very much for a certain type of style of map build. I'm gonna go for a medium high 4. No, I'm gonna go for a middle 4. There's a lot of trees to clear, but Kangaroo Valley by Vapors is definitely a map that I would be really interested in playing on. Can't give the seal of approval because there is just way too much in the way of foliage to clear, but otherwise it would definitely get that as well, definitely. And if you're going to play with without Anarchy switched on, then yeah, seal of approval would come from me. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing. We're at the end of the show, which means if you use the word of the day into the comments, you'll prove that you're part of the 20 and out elite. So please do that, and I'll be back tomorrow with the Steam Chart Show, now known as the Top 20.